They spend hours in the field sharpening their skills, avoiding collisions, spending time away from their family to pursue their dream. We're not talking about the players, but the NFL officials who call the games, and as you'll see, you're only as good as your last call. On any given Sunday, you will find this team preparing for battle, one that is both physically and mentally demanding. But when this team takes the field, winning is not their goal.
Those teams play to win or lose, but we play to be the best and the most accurate there is.
As the third team on the field, NFL officials are scouted just like athletes.
Fitness is important, rules knowledge is important, and we also want folks who are passionate about the game of football.
About 15 years of experience is required at the high school and collegiate level before you can even apply to the National Football League.
If you are a strong performer at the collegiate level, then we would bring you into the office, interview you, and make that person a finalist.
Wayne Mackey, a head linesman in his 5th NFL season, recalls the intense selection process.
You have to go through a psychological exam, okay, and then from the psychological, you sit at what I term the Knights of the Round Table, where you're sitting with all the supervisors around the table firing questions at you.
Make no mistake, officiating in the NFL is a full-time commitment, and there's a lot more in play than just knowing the signals.
Everybody will tell you the same thing. They think we just show up, roll out of bed in the morning, officiate, and go back home. They don't have any idea what the work we put in from Sunday, from doing the game, then the studying and the film review all during the week.
NFL officials put in anywhere between 40 to 80 hours a week, all this while juggling another job. The roster includes lawyers, bankers, principals, and administrators.
I'm a director of operations at the New York City Housing Preservation and Development. There's many a time I've gotten off the plane and went straight to work.
Just like the players, the officials travel to the stadium together on game day.
We're assigned to our games approximately 4 weeks in advance. I work with the same crew for the entire year.
The crew usually arrives about 3 hours before kickoff.
Any questions? I speak to the chain crew and give them my instructions on how we're going to operate throughout the game. If it's a first down, we just come back and set the chains up 1st and 10. 50 minutes before the game, we're on the field, warming up, and then we come back in.
Then, about 5 minutes before kickoff, those men in stripes take the field.
What's up, man? How you? Y'all ready for this? You get out there, excitement is flowing, but once that ball got kicked off, it was back to business.
Keeping cool is a prerequisite.
We have a motto that we use as officials. The hotter it gets, the cooler we get. The game is so fast, you learn to make your decision, you learn to live with your decision, and you learn from your decisions.
But you are only as good as your last call.
Every play of every game is graded by a panel of supervisors.
Each week, officials are graded by the calls they did and didn't make.
The grading system is a performance-based system, and it is how we determine who works in the playoffs and eventually who gets the big prize of the Super Bowl.
One of the keys to Wayne Mackey's success has been his leadership on and off the field.
After the play is over, you're killing the clock.
For 2 years now, Mackey has been teaching the next generation of officials the basics under a partnership between the NFL and the New York City Housing Authority.
I grew up in the projects, in Linden houses in Brooklyn and East New York. And to be able to give back to my community is very satisfying to me.
Giving back to his community while being a key member of the third team who call the shots come kickoff time.
The most fulfilling part of my job is the camaraderie that I have with my fellow officials.
Always had a lot of respect for these guys, but had no idea how competitive it is. You're really as good as your last call. You're being graded every Sunday.
You know, I did sports for many years. I had a lot of conversations with these guys. You think, oh, they must be the biggest football fans ever. But it's so hard to be a fan when you're looking at every single play and your eyes have to be on every single tiny detail of that on that field at all times.
I'd want to be cheering like, oh, great catch. Oh, by the way.
My bad. I'm sorry. Never mind. Forget it. We're going to take a break.